Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of MissPlanIt. So glad you could join us. Before we get started with this week's project, I want to remind you to vote, take our poll, click on that little icon in the corner, and take the poll to tell us what day you would love to super chat with us here at MissPlanIt. Now, some of you might ask, what is a super chat? Well, that is the time that I will be live on YouTube, and you can send in your questions via the comment section, and I will do my very best, and our team will do our very best to answer your questions. Also during that time, I will be showing you lots of little quick tips. Some of you send me emails or send me comments asking me about just the little things I add to table settings and that sort of thing. So I'll be doing some of those little projects while I am talking to you live. So be sure to click on that little icon in the corner where it says, we have a question for you, and tell us what day you would like us to super chat. So let's get started with this week's request. So this week's request comes from our community member, Ashley. And Ashley writes, hello, hi Ashley. My nephew is getting married soon. My sister and I would love to be able to make this beautiful centerpiece for their candy buffet. Can you help us? Thank you. Have an awesome day. Well, Ashley, it is our absolute pleasure to help you make this beautiful centerpiece for your nephew's wedding. I kind of think it looks like a waterfall, so I have named it the Waterfall centerpiece, and you won't believe how easy it is to make. So, with no further ado, let's get started with our beautiful waterfall centerpiece. Let's go. The first step to our project is to build our base, and for this we're going to need a 5-inch foam cube, we're going to need a 4-inch disc, and we're going to also need a 6-inch disc. Now, we're going to use our wooden dowel, and don't worry, all the measurements are in the description below. We're going to use our wooden dowel to punch a hole in the center of each one of our discs. This is very important because this will assure that when we add the disc to the pole later on, that they will be nice and secure. We are also going to create about a 1-inch indentation into our foam cube with our wooden dowel also. Next, it's time to cover our wooden dowel with our sparkly ribbon. Now, this is very simple. You just start at the one end of your wooden dowel with a little bit of hot glue. Make sure you give it time to set, and then you just twist and twirl until the ribbon completely covers the dowel. Now, I add a dab of hot glue about every 2 to 3 inches as I'm adding the ribbon. Now that our wooden dowel is completely covered, it is time to build our base. We're going to start with our foam block, our foam cube rather, and we're going to add a little bit of hot glue into our indentation that we pre-made, and then we're going to go back and replace our dowel right into that section. It is very important that you make sure it's level by holding the dowel in place for at least a minute to 2 minutes while the glue sets. We are first going to add the 4-inch foam disc to our base, and I'm going to stop it about 5 inches above the cube. Once you have it in place, go ahead and seal it with just a little bit of hot glue right around the connection point between the foam disc and the wooden dowel. Now it's time to attach the 6-inch foam disc to the top of our base, and I'm going to attach it and leave at least a 1 to 2 inch space at the top so I can add my foam ball, and I'm leaving at least 12 to 14 inches between the disc at the top and the 4-inch disc at the bottom. Finally, to complete our base, I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the very top of my wooden dowel, and then I'm going to gently but firmly attach the foam ball, making sure that it sits flush with my 6-inch foam disc. So now it's time to start our wonderful draping with our beaded trim. I cut each strand into 16-inch long sections. Now, you can make your beaded sections longer or shorter. It's really up to you. Remember, we just give you the plan. You take it and make it your own. I'm attaching each strand to my 6-inch foam disc using floral pins, and I'm putting the pins right next to each other, and that will automatically create equal spacing. So you're going to continue this all the way around that 6-inch foam disc at the top of your base. Let's create that draping effect. We do this by attaching the beaded trim to the underside of our 4-inch disc using floral pins. Now you'll notice I'm leaving a little slack. I haven't pushed my floral pins all the way in because that gives me a little room to adjust my bead trim. And then once I'm satisfied and have all of them equal all the way around, then I go ahead and push my floral pins all the way through to the other side. And don't worry about the pins sticking out the other side because we're going to take our wire trimmers and just trim them off. Be sure to wear your safety glasses though when you do this. For the next step, you have options. You can choose to anchor down your beaded trim into the foam cube, or you can choose to go ahead and trim the ends off to make it more like a free-flowing waterfall. So guess what? I'm going to choose to trim. You can choose whatever you think will be best for your project look.